Everyone, I hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic. So it turns out that Nutrimed has uplifted its packaging to this one. This is what it used to be. This is one of their whey protein, one of the really good products. And this is a mass gainer. It's an unboxing and review of this thing. But this is a new packaging as well. So I think it's fantastic. There would be a poll in this information bar section. Let me know what you think. You like it, you don't like it, and maybe we could share that info with the Nutrimed company. All right, let's get into it. All right, so you see the package directly, the outer carton you're not seeing because I was so excited to look at the new package I just opened up. I'm really sorry for that, but it didn't break the seal. So overall, really nice stuff. I don't review my mass gainers historically too much because I don't use those, but it looks like mass gainers are quite popular in the market, and then companies are launching new stuff, so I thought let's just do it. I bought this thing, by the way. They didn't send it to me for free. I just bought it. So this is a 3 kg jar, tub, whatever you call it, and you can get it somewhere around 3,000 bucks, I guess. Let's open it up and we'll talk about what it comes in the label, and then we'll put it through the standard review process. But yes, we will review it as a mass gainer, not a whey protein supplement, because mass gainer's purpose is entirely different. All right, so let's open the seal and see how that is. Really improved seal, I'd say also, because this is a good thing. I give kudos to Nutrimed, and I also give kudos to Sainu, which I talked about some time back. Their sealing is really good. See, it's airtight. You can feel that. All right, the powder inside has an amazing smell coming out of it. Like it's it's like it's chocolate flavor. I understand. It says super chocolate. It's a new flavor, I guess, and it's a really fine powder, which makes sense because see, this is more carbohydrate, less protein. So it's not going to have the protein texture. It would be less protein texture and more carbohydrate texture. Yeah, so that looks good. So we're going to put it through all these things that you do on our channel. We're going to look at the quality, what are the things that it's made of. See, it's not a whey protein supplement, it's a mass gainer. So we're going to talk about what they have put in terms of carbohydrate, and then quantity. And quantity, when we're going to talk a bit about how much protein they put. See, when we talk about quantity, of course, because it's a mass gainer, that's fine, but at least you should be putting some amount of protein. So we're going to look into that, and then the value for money, how much one scoop is costing you, and then mixability and taste test and microscopic test. All right, so when it comes to the quality of this thing, then what you're looking at is that as per their label, I'm reading the label, what they're saying is that this thing is giving you about 72 grams of carbohydrate and 15 grams of protein, and it's per 100 grams, which is like 2 scoops. And that's why I say the scale completely changes. So when you're talking about a 100 gram scoop or 100 gram serving size in whey protein, you're looking somewhere around 75 to 84% of protein content. But this is mass gainer, so protein is supposed to be less. It's 15 gram per 100 gram. If you had asked me, then because I'm always inclined a bit towards protein, I'd say okay, if it had been like 16, 17 grams, it would have been better, or 18 grams, it would have been much better. More protein is always better. 72 gram carbohydrate, of course, adds to the amount of calorie this 100 gram punches, and we're going to come to that. Along with that, it has digestive enzymes and ashwagandha, which adds up to the whole ingredient list. Now, when it comes to the enzymes, Nutrimed doesn't add dizyme, which is the proprietary blend. They use bromelain and pepine to just add those enzymes and punch it together and send it out to the products. And the other thing to mention is that this thing still comes with about 1.5 gram of creatine per 100 grams. So as per Nutrimed, the serving size of this thing is 100 grams, and you should take 3 servings. As per them, of course, you don't have to. Now, if you take 3 servings, you're getting 1.5 gram to 3, that is 4.5 grams of creatine as well with this whole thing. Now, whether it's good or not depends on how you want your creatine to be added to your supplement. So some people like creatine already added, some people don't. They just want to add and go off and on creatine as per the requirements. So depending on your choice, this product is going to be useful for you or not. Important thing to mention is that the sources of protein that they've added is that insertized ultrafilter whey protein concentrate, micellar casein, and milk protein solids. So these are the whey protein sources. And one thing is standard when it comes to the carbohydrate is that they have added modified cornstarch. So because this is going to be a question, right? So I'm reviewing mass gainer, and I thought, of course, the carbohydrate source is going to be a question, and from my reviewers, they're going to ask. So what I did, I made a separate video on modified cornstarch. Please watch that, and that would have more info on whether it's good, bad, how it is, and how you can consume it and stuff like that. But as the carbohydrate source, they use cornstarch, modified cornstarch for that matter. It on the label somewhere around here, and they have some two really important vitamins added. One is B6 and the other is B12. I'll probably make a video on B12 and why it's so important for us, but those are the things that they have added. When it comes to the quantity, and now we're not talking about quantity in terms of protein and carbohydrate. We've already talked about in the quality, like what sort of things they add, what carb source they add, how much carb they add. When it comes to a mass gainer, the main quantity that you're concerned of is calorie, because I think the main purpose of a mass gainer is that you need a lot of calorie surplus. So you can get it from whole food. If you do, that's absolutely fantastic. But if you're someone who's on the go all the time, or at least during a period of the day you need a lot of calorie but you just don't find the food, and of course mass gainer is for you. It's an easy way to get you going. You can make a shake and just have a huge chunk of result of energy going into your system. So that's the purpose, and that's why in the quantity I'm just mentioning how much calorie you're getting out of this. So you're getting whopping 412 calorie out of a 100-gram serving, which is 2 scoops. So the thing is, I think it needs no mentioning. If you're a mass gainer user and you know why you're using mass gainer, this calorie is probably not going to be a problem for you because you're asking for the calorie. But if you're someone who's on a calorie deficit diet, or you're doing ketogenic diet, forget about mass gainers, because they're full of carbs, they're full of calories, and it's not going to help you out in whatever you're trying to do. But I believe you know why you're using mass gainers, so in that case, the more the calorie, the better it's for you. So you should be counting the price per calorie you're getting, or the calories, how much you gotta pay for let's say 100 calories. That's how you can calculate. So the value for money, this is how I'm calculating. Let me know if I'm wrong, because it's a mass gainer. I'm calculating how much calorie you're getting per serving. So per serving 100 gram, you're getting 412 kilocalories. So for that, if this thing you buy at $3,000, then you gotta pay $100 for that. So I think it's not bad, but it perhaps could have been a bit better. So compare it with Muscle Blaze, and if you see Muscle Blaze, a 75-gram serving is giving you 280 kilocalories, which is a lot less kilocalories. But in that case, you're getting more calorie. But then again, Muscle Blaze has a bit more protein content. Mixability and taste test, and our trusted shaker. I have no clue because I review this mass gainer so less. I've done it with Muscle Blaze. They have tons of additives added to that, so I don't really know what to expect. But this is the scoop. As you can see, this is the scoop size, which is 50 grams. It's obviously heavier than this 50 gram. This is probably the same scoop for a 30-gram whey. So it's a lighter powder, and that's because the whey protein is less, I guess. You get 2 scoops and you get 100 gram. I'm going to use just one because 412 calories is a lot of calorie. To shed that, you need a lot of punch. Right, let's just try to just shake it off like this and see if it mixes. I just adjusted the exposure a bit. It interestingly mixed quite well with the few lumps there, because I was expecting, because it's got so much of carb, it's going to mix slowly. But I think because it's got modified cornstarch, which is the smaller strands of carbohydrate, not the long chain. The long chains take time to break down, so that's why probably it's mixing. But I'm not sure if that's why it's mixing well. Let's see how it is when I shake it. Alright, I won't be giving more mix to it. It's just this much. It's a really thick sort of a shake, okay? I took about 250 ml of water in this. It's a real thick shake. You can't see through it. Of course, that's expected. There are stuffs going around like this. This is not a mixed stuff. This is not mixed. There are certain non-mixed stuffs around. When you're talking about 72% of or 72 grams of carbohydrate per 100 gram serving, you will be seeing these things. But looking at it that way and seeing how well it mixed, I think it mixed pretty well. There are some floaters out there. There is no froth. Absolutely fantastic, because there's no froth, and that's expected because every single other ingredient is working as an emulsifier here. Let me test how it is. All right, so that's interesting because this chocolate flavor is different than Muscle Way chocolate flavor, okay? They're different. It's a wee bit more sweet. It's not too sweet. It's a wee bit more sweet. But it's different. The chocolate flavoring is different. I don't know why. So that was more of a rich chocolate, and this is more of a milk chocolate sort of flavor, if I can put it properly. But it tastes good. I didn't find any aftertaste. When I tried the Muscle Blaze, I found some aftertaste on the XXL mask gainer. Their beginner's way didn't have any aftertaste, but that one had. This doesn't have any aftertaste. Tastes pretty well, mixes pretty well. Let's move on to the microscopic test. The material a bit. They didn't say they added any binders or anything, though it should probably be clean stuff, not much stuff going on in there. Maybe a bit of different texture because we are having so less of whey protein in this. So let's just see what we find out. And we're recording. It's definitely different. I mean, if I put the Muscle Whey next to it, we're gonna see that the granules are much more defined. There are many other stuffs going on around, but the good thing is that I don't really see any binders. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, I don't see any binders. I see the cocoa powders. I see the crystals. Those are probably sucralose or sweetener, whatever they use. So by the way, I sent out the pictures and I got some more info. The crystals that you see when they're in the small sizes, that in this case you're seeing, or in some other cases we've seen small crystals, those are sucralose. But if you're seeing gigantic crystals, they couldn't really tell what that is. They said there could be so many things. They take crystalline form. But if I go through and out, then I don't see any binders, which I was looking for. I don't see much of any other additives. Yes, they have added ashwagandha, they've added those vitamins, but I think those quantities are less compared to the carb and the protein. So the majority you're going to see that. Of course, a lot of cocoa is added. That's why the cocoa is seen everywhere. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Alright, when it comes to recommending this product, or we're talking about the pros and cons of this product, the way I see it is that if you consider the pros, then it's got a 412 to 420 calories that it delivers per serving, which is definitely a pro, because as per my research, what I've seen is that it's about 80 to 100 calorie, depending on the range of which you are comparing it with, more calorie it delivers per serving than any standard mass gainer out there in the market. It got ashwagandha, which is a fantastic stuff because it gets you reduce your cortisol level, and it can like calm you down, which is also good because less cortisol is always helpful. And then it has digestive enzymes, which is another beneficial thing because I think it's got so much of carb and even the protein are different sources. If you have a bit of enzyme, then it helps you digest the whole thing down, because 420 calories to go through your system is not really an easy stuff to do. So the digestive enzymes actually help. So when it comes to the cons, I personally think that the protein content these days, there's this move towards making protein to carb ratio to 3:1 mostly. So if they could bump up the protein content a wee bit, that would have been better. They have different sources of protein, like it's coming from casein and also whey concentrate and also milk solids. That's fine, but if they could increase that quantity of protein that they're adding, that would have been really good. And the other thing is price. I think 3,000 rupees for 3 kg is a wee bit higher, so it comes to around 100 rupees per serving. I think the really cheap and the steel sort of prices would be around 50 bucks per serving. But if you're in a good playing ground, if you're doing it somewhere around 70 bucks, 75 bucks, even 65 to 75 bucks, if it's within this range, I think it's fantastic. So that's what I personally think. I don't use mass gainers as such for myself, so I'm not that expert when it comes to how much people spend on mass gainers, but I'm saying by doing a market research on what are the prices. If you're going on Amazon, the lightning deals that are there and stuff like that, you get Muscle Blaze, Sinew, and any other many brands I've seen who are selling mass gainers, and if you consider the quantity and the price, then it's coming to somewhere around 65, 68, 75, that range, right? So I think it's a wee bit costlier, but I don't know the launch price actually. So if the price is less, then it's absolutely fantastic. All right, so now comes the point where I should recommend or not. So I don't recommend any products. If it's something that suits you, you can go for it. But remember, a mass gainer is supposed to deliver you a lot of calories, and this one does that. It's got the added ashwagandha, creatine, and digestive enzymes, and a bunch of vitamins also. So those are the plus points of this product. It's not just a bunch of protein and carb. It's got those added stuff, and they do matter. So depending on whether you need a mass gainer or not, you're gonna buy it, and then depending on the price these people are gonna put on this product, you're probably gonna buy it. So I think the decisive factor is gonna be what the price point of this product is, because there is so much competition in the market. They need to price it at a competitive range. So hopefully that helped. Let me know in the comment section what do you need more for a mass gainer review, and then I can tune the reviews like that. I'm going to compare this product with some other products in a separate video. This is just a review video showing you how it is in the first look. I hope you liked it. Have an awesome life, folks. Ciao.